great episode of Real Life Matters. Of course, I'm your host, DBoss. And, you know, I've been giving some tips lately about laughing and smiling. And, you know, it goes a long way. And it also increases your metabolism. And it helps you also tone your abs laughing. So, you know, I encourage people to do some laughing per day. If you don't have anything to laugh at, well, just put on something that you could laugh, or, you know, talk to somebody, look at something funny, because that actually releases a lot of stress and endorphins in your body. So it's good for you, for your health, your pressure, if you have blood pressure, your circulation, and it's all good even if you're in pain, because it helps release some of that stuff, because you don't want to be all stressed out and have, you know, all these lines in your face because you're not laughing. So, you know, it says, as if you smile, the whole world smiles back at you. And if they don't smile back at you, well, you just keep it moving and you just keep doing what you got to do and smile, because you're going to feel better and more healthier, and your body's going to be in better shape. So, and I also encourage the people here to, if the people have any videos, books, any kind of products, I encourage you guys to ask the guests, reach out to them, buy their stuff. Just don't sit there and do not say, oh, you know what, I'm not going to get their stuff. Go like their video, all that's and all the other stuff. Go like their videos, buy their products, support them, because, you know, it just takes a second to like something, to, you know, just to like and support their streaming and stuff like that. So today, people, I got a very special guest on today, and he's been all over. He's had a little bit of trials and tribulations along his journey, but we're going to find out all about it, because he went from promoter to author, and now he pens his own book, Autobiography, Prove 'Em Wrong. So with no other further ado, we're going to find out and introduce to you Andrew
Minott.
I will say that. I was just going to say Andrew, and I was going to say it to you. But it's Andrew Minott. We're with you today, live and direct, people.
Nice to have me. Thanks. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
All right. So I see you're laughing. So you're taking a little bit of the tip. So
yeah, I try to laugh as much as I possibly can. I try to laugh. In this crazy world, you have to laugh, right?
It's true. You have to. What are you going to do? Sit there and cry? No.
Yeah.
So everybody here at the Culture for Real Life Matters, we like to know everybody's cultural background and where they come from.
I'm from Jamaica. I was born and raised, and pretty much the book I wrote, Prove 'Em Wrong, actually talks about that. Raised by my grandparents, grew up in the city of Montego Bay, Jamaica, and then moved to the U.S., migrated when I was 18 to Newark, New Jersey. And then from then, basically, joined the military, the Navy. Then from there to like outside Chicago for boot camp, then to California. I bought an aircraft carrier. Then a year later, I was in the Persian Gulf, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and in the middle of the whole mess with them.
Well, I'm glad you said which part you're from, Montego Bay, because I was going to ask you, because people say they don't want to hear that, especially for Jamaica. So, because Jamaica's a big place.
Yeah, relatively, yeah.
So what made you want to, you know, you're starting your bio, you were a promoter. So let's start from there. So what made you want to become a promoter?
A promoter, actually, I can say promotion chose me in the sense of, I just want to be in music. Because basically my cousin is Sugar Minott. A lot of people may know, other Jamaicans will know Sugar Minott is. He passed away back in 2010. So when I first met up with him back in 91, I was in Jamaica, and I went to go talk to him about music, because I was in production at the time. I was releasing a single, and I was using his label, Youthman Promotion. And then he was telling me, "You sure this is what you want to do?" I was like, "Yeah," because I'm young. "Yeah, you sure this one?" And he kept asking me that. And I was like, "Why is he asking me this?" And then he was telling me, "Look, if you're not really loving music, don't do it. Because it's gonna come with a lot of trial and tribulations along the way. And if you don't truly love music, it will leave a bad taste in your mouth, and you'll start hating the whole process. You will hate people. Because he told me, he said, look at me. At the time, at that time, he had maybe over 70 release albums. And he has accomplished more than a lot of people, because at that time, he was the one that basically, he put Junior Reed on the map. He was Junior Reed, Tenor. He told Garnet Silk not be a DJ and be a singer. He discovered musical youth from out of England. He was the first reggae artist to tour Japan. He was the first reggae artist to have a song on the British charts that went #2. So he did a lot of things, and he was saying, look at me. And he was like, so I took heed, and I was like, okay, I said, you know what? I'm going to really, truly, if I really love to do this. So I started getting involved in production. And then along the way, I met someone. They came to Miami, and there was a concert going on with Buju Banton and Luciano, Sizzler, a big reggae concert. And he said, and I said, damn, I want to do something like this. This was back in '96. And he said, you sure? And I was like, yeah, 'cause I just love the vibe and everything else. And from then we put together this concert, and it started back in '97, and it never looked back since then.
So are you still doing it or not really?
I do, like, I help people now, because a lot of the artists, if you know, a lot of reggae artists don't have visas to come to the US. Beanie Man, Bounty Killer, Sizzler, most of the big name reggae artists do not have visas. So back in 2008, yeah, so they don't have visas to come here. So then, and the new and upcoming artists, they want ridiculous amount of money. So it's not like back in the day when you would get Beanie Man and Bounty Killer and Sizzler, and you paid him like 25, 30,000. Now, our artists come out of Jamaica, have one hit song, and he wants $50,000.
What?
Yeah.
So it's not really, but they're not really doing a concert. I guess if they only have one song.
Yeah, so basically they have songs, but like people know them from one song. And basically they charge a ridiculous amount of money. And then when they come, nobody comes out. So you lose money. So I see a lot of promoters lose a lot of money doing concerts and stuff. And, you know, it's just not
visa, and then they can't get their visa.
Yeah. So it's just not feasible. Matter of fact, I was in Canada. The last time I was in Canada I came there with Supercat.
Okay.
Because I traveled with him that time, and we were in Toronto. But basically, so I do some of that. Like I've done like tour management. I've traveled all over the world doing that, Europe, Africa. So after I transitioned from the promotion side, I went into the booking side. And then I started doing tours with many different artists, from the Beanies, the Bounties, the Movados, Vibes Cartel, everybody. I've traveled with a lot of people all over the world.
So, I interviewed Anthony Mavado.
Mavado?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting.
Yeah. I work with all these reggae artists. I work with a lot of them. And in the book I talk about, I was the first promoter to bring Sean Paul to the US.
Wow.
First time Sean Paul came to the US in the show in '97, I brought him here. That was back in
I guess, and I look at him now, eh?
Look at him now. Look at him now.
All over. He's in Spain. He's in all over the place doing records, and he's you know,
one of the biggest thing. Yeah. And I was in music, just seemed to drawn to me, because when I was in the Navy, I met Shaggy. Shaggy was in the Marine Corps.
Oh, he was?
Shaggy, Mr. Boombastic. Oh. Yeah, Shaggy was a Marine. He was stationed in Camp Pendleton.
Well, you know that's my last name, Bostic.
Bostic.
Boombastic. So he got it from somewhere.
Yeah. Boombastic.
They said we somehow they got some relation there, so that's okay. Now you're thinking. Now you're going do. No.
Yeah, you can hit him up. Yeah. So that was I've done a lot of things though.
And the Marine Corps. So a lot
Yeah.
of you guys. So was it the Jamaican or was the U.S.?
No, U.S. Marines, because
Okay.
like when
Okay.
I migrated when I migrated here to the U.S. and I talk about in the book, I was probably trending in the wrong direction because I lived in Newark, New Jersey, which is not they call it Brick City for a reason. It's not the nicest neighborhood, and my uncle saw I was going down this path, and then he said, "Yo, you join," because he told me I was joining the Marines. So when I went to the recruiting station, I ended up joining the Navy instead. So went to the Navy. I was in aviation, so I was stationed at aircraft carrier. So basically,
Okay.
when I was out there, so while I was in, because I was stationed in San Diego, right outside. Everybody know that movie Top Gun.
Yes.
The base where Top Gun is filmed at is called Miramar Naval Air Station. I
Okay.
was stationed maybe 20 minutes from Miramar, and Camp Pendleton was maybe about 30 minutes from Miramar. So basically, they have base and stuff. So weekends and stuff, Shaggy would actually come and record. One of my friends has a studio and stuff, so he would come there, and then so that was it. So because he was actually Shaggy went that Persian Gulf War in 90, when was it? 92, 90? The
In
first
the
one, yeah.
90s.
Yeah, Shaggy went. I was in the reserve that time because I got off active duty in 89.
Okay.
So I was in the reserves until 95. So, and then
So
he
did
got
you
out.
learn your lesson that your uncle said?
Hey, hey,
Did you learn?
hey.
You're smiling.
It
So
was a lesson well learned. Though. Yeah, it was. It was. With a lot of lessons learned. A lot of lessons learned. That's why I came up with Prove Him Wrong, because I had to prove everybody wrong. I had to prove a
but I
lot of
like the
people.
title of it. So that's what you thought. That's what. So how did it make you come up with the title of the book, Prove Him Wrong?
While I was doing the book, the title came to me because I didn't know. I was just writing, like basically like my life. So I started out in Jamaica, and I talk about one of my first disappointments when growing up in Jamaica. You had to pass this common entrance exam to go to high school, and my grandmother made a promise to me, and then she broke that promise. And then while in school, there are things that my mom didn't do, and I'm like, why? It seemed like I have to be proving myself to somebody. To this day, it seems like I'm still proving myself to somebody and everybody else. People doubt me. People saying, and I know a lot of people go through this every day. Like you tell someone something, and they're trying to get an answer from you, then go test somebody else with that same answer and said, "Yo, can you do that?" And then they realize I told them the truth. They're like, "Oh yeah, you were right." I'm like, why I gotta prove myself to you? Why I gotta do this over and over and over? So throughout my whole life, I have to be proving somebody wrong. When my father basically neglected me when I came to the US, and basically he was saying, what am I gonna do with my life? And then he said he's not gonna help me. And then when I said I'm gonna join the military, he said you would never make it in the military. You're too skinny, you're too soft.
I don't know why the parents always say that to you, to
Yeah,
people.
they always say
That's
that.
not very because then words are powerful, right?
Yeah. And I didn't know that until
And you're
growing up. Yeah.
speaking, and
Yeah.
then they're speaking that over you. Oh, you're this, you're that. If you don't do this, you'll be that, and you don't have to say all that.
Exactly.
Just encourage and put encouragement into your and speak encouraging words over your children.
I wish that was the case growing up in Jamaica.
I know. You
Yeah.
can't, and there's no word called can't because you could do anything.
Yeah, you can. You can do anything you
Yeah.
want to do. But
Yeah.
and even high school teachers be saying that you amount to nothing. My grandmother, cause I grew up with a very bad temper, like very, very bad temper. Like if I had that temper when I was a teenager now, I don't know where I would be. But my grandmother told me I wouldn't live to see 19 years old.
Wow.
My grandmother told me that. So I had to prove her wrong in that too. My father said I wouldn't amount to anything. I had to prove him wrong. So everybody and the closest people to you would tell you these things. And I'm like, why am I got to go through all this over and over again to prove somebody? So throughout the book, and I read, and while I'm going chapter by chapter, I'm like, everything seemed like I got to be proving myself to somebody. So I'm like, you know what? Since all of them were wrong, I prove them wrong. And that's what it came about.
Well, It seems like if you're this bad boy, you must have had all those girls because those girls like bad boys.
Yeah. Hey, in the book, in the book,
Uh-huh.
there's a popular celebrity that I used to go out with for like a couple of years. I won't say who the
Okay.
person is.
Now everybody's got to go get the book now to see who it is.
Yeah, I went out with them, and I remember going to a red carpet event in Los Angeles, and I met a lot of people there. I met Elizabeth Taylor, I met Whoopi Goldberg, um, Anthony Edwards, a whole bunch of celebrities and stuff, Vivica Fox. And back then, but I was, so many things was going on back then for me. I couldn't care less. It was like just regular people. It didn't matter to me, you know. But it was just through the challenge of life and going through and exploring different things and different avenues and stuff. And I get to do all these things. So, and I chronicle these journeys in the book. So, you know, it's a lot of people really like it. I was very scared to actually put it out because I'm a very private person, and then my whole life story is in this book now. So it's like I can't take it back now.
Well,
it's all over. I can't take it back.
You already put it out there. You already put it out there.
I can't take it back now. I can't take it back. I cannot take it back.
And how long did it take you to compile the book? How long did it take you to do that?
The real time would have been probably like 8 months, but it was supposed to have been out last year. But after I finished it and I was reading it, it got really emotional for me. And I was double guessing myself and second guessing myself if I really wanted to put it out, because I'm like, man, I can't put my life out there like this. I can't. And I'm like, man, and I was like, literally, I was kind of scared about it because, for one, most people don't know anything like this, my life story. I've had friends that I've known since I was maybe 7, 8 years old. They bought the book and then they're like, man, I didn't know you went through all this. And they've known me all my life. And I've been talking, I've known them, and we continuously talk through my whole entire life up until now. And they're like, I said, I just didn't talk about these things. I just didn't. And for me to put in the book now is like, it's just a bombshell, basically, because my life is out there now. So basically, it's out there.
It's out there. So how many pages is the book?
The book initially, when I did, it was like 300 something pages, and then I edited it down, and it's like 140 pages. It's like I know a lot of people don't like reading, so the audible version is coming out by next week. I should have the audible version of it, so that should be available by next week. Because I know a lot of people like, man, some people just bought the book and like, yeah, I haven't read it yet. So when they can just put it in their car and they're driving, they can listen to it. So
okay, so you can down. So how much is the book about? How much is it?
It's basically on Amazon. It's available $15.99. You know, it's very economical. It's very, it's not expensive at all. You know, so. And you buy it on Amazon and you get it. It's available in like a couple of days. They mail it out to you. You know, basically. So
what's next for Andrew Minott? What's the next thing you're going to be doing?
I'm going to promote the book. Basically, I'm planning a book tour. Hopefully, I come to Canada soon too. You know, but I want to basically promote it. The feedback is really, really great. So far, the feedback on I have a website, anchorminott.com. People left reviews. This one young lady left a review and said she bought the book by mistake because she thought it was a book she needed for school. And then she was like, man, she said, God must have really been talking to her because she's so glad she bought the book, and it helped her to understand dealing with her father, because she's from a Caribbean descent. And because I talk a lot about my relationship or lack of with my father, and me as a single father growing up and not perpetuating the same cycle that my father did, basically neglecting me. And I didn't do the same with my kids also. and I talk about all these things. And it's quite an inspiring book, looking back and thinking about all the things I accomplished and all the things I went through and still never gave up and still persevere through all the negative stereotypes that everybody had. And I still persevere, and here I am. I'm still here, you know, still
All right.
here.
Well, everybody's gonna be looking out for this. You guys are here to go get the book. And then he's gonna have an audio version of it, so you can listen to it in your car. So you have no reason if you can't read, or you don't have time to sit and open the book and read, then you can listen.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Listening is good. You can just take it all in. So
Yeah.
So Andrew, are there any shout outs that you want to give to people?
Yeah, shout out a lot to my publicist, Angelo Ella, because he's the one who pushed me to write this book in the first place, because I didn't want to do it. And he's the one who pushed me. And, Sugar Minott, my cousin, legendary godfather of dancehall, he inspired me to actually write this book, because the book was supposed to be about him, but he passed away. And then I took the banner to basically bring his name back in the forefront, that he can get some of the respect that he truly deserves. And I did that, because I also want to shine light on a lot of people, especially single fathers who don't get just due that they're supposed to get. And they get the stereotype of Black single fathers, this, and they're deadbeat and all that. So I want to shout out a lot of them to let them know that, we're still here. You can follow my website, you find out what's going on. And also my social media handles, everything is at Drew Minott, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. On my website, anchorminott.com. You can find out everything that's going on, and you can know everything that's going on with this book.
No, Drew Minott, Anchor Minott. Gosh. All right. Andrew Minott, you'll get to him. You'll get to him. But and we know it's so are you thinking you're gonna write another something else, or are you just gonna just roll with this?
I'm open for it, because this book, I left a lot of space for things because I just went through different sequence of my life. I didn't dwell on any topic. That means no one will get bored about reading about one thing for a long period of time, because I've been through so many things in my life. So I just went topic to topic to topic. So I could do another book. I could do another book more extensive, because then I'll know people know who I am then, because that's why I was like, why even write a book? So that's a possibility, possibility of a movie too. Someone talked to me about that. So
you never know.
You never know.
Well, you never know, because a lot of people are doing that these days. So next know here. Hey, we heard it here first on Real Life Matters, people. He does a movie. If he does a movie, we heard it here first. So it's been a pleasure. We want you to come back when you progress, and we want to see how your book's doing. So you gotta come back and tell us.
Thank you. Appreciate
everybody
it.
How their book. All right. So I do want to thank you for coming on and sharing your journey with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. So I do want to thank the viewers tonight for tuning into Real Life Matters here with Andrew Minott. Prove him wrong. His journey. You might buy the book. That's his whole life stories in the book, and then you also have to buy the book to find out who's the famous entertainer that he went out with. So I got to go look in that. I want to be nosy. So good night, everybody, and bye for now.
Bye.